Good morning, everybody. It's Ange Sinclair from Digestive Detective. I hope you had a fantastic weekend. Today I'm going to talk to you about stool testing. I've had a couple of people ask me. I went to a stool test seminar about 2 weeks ago, and they were asking me about the testing, so I thought I'd come on and share it with everybody. So there's stacks out there. They all have different levels of accuracy and what you're getting from the test. They all test different things. That is the problem with them. There's not one perfect test. There's two that I really like. One of them I tend not to prescribe very often because it's very, very costly. And it's in certain cases where I would use that if the person's tried a lot of things and they're not getting better, then I would look at using that. The one I'll show you first is from Microba. They're an Australian-based company, and I love this test. So it comes in a little box like this. You pay for it online. So I'll prescribe it to you. You pay for it online, and you get the little kit that's delivered to your house. So inside the kit, you'll have a little instruction manual that tells you what to do and how to do it, and then basically you get a little envelope to send it back in, which is fantastic. And this is the actual test, if I can get it out of the box. So basically when this sort of Microba's test is done straight off the toilet paper, so you don't have to touch the stool sample or anything. You're just literally getting the toilet paper that you wipe with, and it comes with a what does it come with? It's like a big cotton bud essentially in that. You just twist it, which I haven't done. There you go. And you pop it out. It stays on that applicator like that. You wipe that onto the toilet paper, and then you basically put it back in there and pop it back into the parcel with all your details and send it back off. So why do I like this one? This is a comprehensive, personalised view of stool testing, which we don't really get ones that are done just for you. The other ones are sort of done a little bit differently. So this, you can compare yourself to their healthy gut population. It will give you the diversity of your microbiome, which is fantastic. It is the latest technology, so that's what I love about this. It's also $349, so not the most expensive test. But what it does do, it checks the potential that your gut has to make the metabolites and vitamins from the bacteria that's in your gut, so that's really good. Also the diversity, it gives you the diversity of your microbiome, your whole microbiome, and it also, the thing that I love about it the most is it tells you the types of foods that you can eat that your microbes that you currently have are deficient in, and that will give them fuel. So that's why I love this one. And it's easy to do. It's not very hard. You don't have to get stacks of stool onto the little applicator. You basically just wipe it over, and that's good enough. So that's the first one, and it's $349. It's Australian made, and I think I think this will be one of the greatest tests in the world as time goes on. At the minute, for me, their database is just a little bit small. You're comparing yourself to, last time I checked it was about 75, but now I think it's up to 125 people. So which is still really good, because finding 125 people that don't take antibiotics, that have really good diets and stuff, is really quite difficult. And this is the mother of all tests, and I'll talk about it first. It's from Doctor's Data. So with the Microba, the test is done in Australia, so it doesn't have to go anywhere. It does take about 4 weeks to get the results back. With the Doctor's Data one, it's a test that's done in America, so it gets sent off to the States. So the kit comes with gloves, obviously. It comes with 3 little containers. This is a 3-day one. If you're going to do the 3-day one, it comes in smaller ones. You can do a 1 or 2-day one as well. But this is a 3-day one. It comes with all the specimen bags, gloves. So essentially each day, and they're all really well set out. They're numbered. And on day 1, they test for different things. So there's a couple of vials. So basically you catch the stool in the container. There's another glove in here. You put a little bit of the stool into the vial, and it's got fixative in there, so that holds the stool in place straight away, which I think is terrific. I'll just put them back so I don't mess them up. And then you have day 2 and day 3. So what doctor's data is, and then basically you put it all back into the box. Once you've done, you chuck away the container and the gloves. There's a little ice pack in here as well, so that gets put back in, and then you send it off express post, or somebody can pick it up generally. I know now they do it with the post office. You can actually take it to the post office, which is terrific. So that test is $615. It's a PCR test, so that also is the latest technology, and it gives you abundance and diversity of the bacteria that's in your gut. It also can detect bacteria, viruses and parasites, which I think is a really good thing. They also culture. So this test was done traditionally as a CDSA, which is a comprehensive digestive stool analysis. So these are ones where they would culture the bacteria and the yeast. And the downside to that is, one, we have better technology now, and two, you can't culture a lot of the bacteria in your gut. It just can't happen, so you don't get a full picture, whereas with the PCR, which they do now, is fantastic, but you pay for that as well. So they also do chemistry markers, and this is the bit about this test that I love. It can tell you if there's fat in your stool, if you're breaking down carbohydrates and fats and proteins, if you are chewing enough. It tells me whether the food's moving through too fast. It can tell me whether you're making the appropriate short chain fatty acids that feed your colon. It can also tell me if you have the right pH, if you've got occult blood in your stool, if you've got white blood cells and red blood cells, which shouldn't be in the stool in numbers. So it will tell me all that information. So there's a lot of information in that test, but it also costs $615. So it's not one that I use often. You can take bits of that test out. So rather than do the whole culture, PCR, chemistry markers, and there's one more piece to that test, you can just pick out different bits and their different costs. So it's worth, if you have had a long time, say for example, if you've had a problem for 20 or 30 years that you've never had investigated, it's probably worth taking the plunge and doing this one for $615, because then you get a complete picture of what's happening in your gut. If you are looking to get a comprehensive picture and just be then able to feed the bacteria that you have not got the right amounts in, the microbial one is the test for you. So I know it sounds really complicated, but it's very easy once you get started. They're easy tests to do at home in the comfort of your own home. You don't have to go anywhere, which is a good thing, because trying to do a poo sample somewhere else would be a nightmare. And they're easy enough to package up and send off. They look scary. I've got to say the microbial one is really easy. It's literally, you wipe the toilet paper, you put it back into the thing, you pop it into the bag, and off it goes. So that's this week's chat about testing. If you have any clues or any ideas of other things you'd like me to talk about, just pop in and leave me a comment, because it's always nice to hear what everybody else wants to talk about. I've had several people ask me about stool testing. Do I do it all the time? Not necessarily. I think there's a lot to be done by just taking a really good case history and doing some of the basic things first that will get your digestion working better, and then see where you are. But if you have, for example, I had a lady who had been overseas 35, maybe even 40 years ago, and had never been well since. So she's a person that I do the bigger test on, because for a long period of time she's not been well. This would give you a lot of boxes to check off that this is right, and then you know where to go next. Where if it's sort of acute, or it's only just happened, or it's only been going on for the last few years, you don't really need to spend that sort of money to get the best result. So that's my stool testing for today. Have a fantastic day, everybody, and I will see you next week. Thanks so much. Bye.